Aries, welcome to your end of June tarot reading. And this is your weekly reading. Let's see what's going on with you. And do remember to check the playlist for your sun, moon, and rising sign to see what additional messages are there for you. Time and energy is fluid, not linear. Okay, what is on here? Get off there. All right, first oracle. We have Crow Spirit. Co-create with spirit. Very intelligent animals. All right, let's see what your Queen of the Moon is. And there's so many cards in this deck. There's some that just seem to never pop up. That's so weird. All right, what do we have? Oh, bam, peace. I like that. Being in balance. Let's keep going. One more for our lovely Aries. And round and round. We see this round there. It could be that you're becoming more whole as a person, less divided. It's an interesting message there. Let's get your bonus. I rearranged my desk, so things are different now. I drew 3 out, like all together. Yeah, let's just take those. They were all in a stack. I thought I was grabbing one. That's okay. We will take all 3 in a row. Let's add a fortune oracle to it. It's a small deck, but I really like it. All right, let's put that one there, and then we just need one of these. We'll take that one. There we go. All right. I wonder if my chair squeaking is coming through. Hope not. All right, let's look at your recent past. Recent past. Depending on your timeline, this could be far past, sometimes past life, very rare. It could be that you haven't even experienced it yet. Let's see. 6 of Pentacles, Taurus energy. 2 of Swords. Okay. It's Libra. And now we have the Page of Cups. Let's get our crossing energy. Your crossing energy is what helps or hurts. Just depends. Let's take that one. Oh, okay. 5 of Pentacles. It's interesting. So we have the 6 crossed by the 5. Oh, that was a whole chunk. Didn't realize it was that many. If it's meant to come out, and believe me, it will. All right. Ooh, Ace of Pentacles. And the King of Swords now. That's Aquarius energy. What is going on here, Aries? Oh, come on, pick up the cards. So we go from a 6 to a 5. The Lesser Arcana is daily life, you know, the things that you are experiencing. The 6 of Pentacles is a great card. Well, usually, it talks about equal reciprocity, knowing your value. And I think it also points towards what we value, because we have the scales here. And on one side, we have books representing knowledge, I would say. And then we have the monetary value. We have a child down here reading a book, increasing their knowledge, increasing their value, right? Because knowledge is power. Knowledge is something that you always have. Nobody can take that from you. People can take your money, your possessions, but not that. Not your talents, not your skills, not your knowledge. You possess those. Then we have this little girl down here with her hands out. She's not doing anything for it, okay? So there is an element here of sometimes we are the givers, sometimes we are the takers, you know? And this card represents this one, someone or needing. This could be lacking resources, lacking equal reciprocity, or not feeling you're not getting value, equal value, or you're not being valued, to your potential. But it could be that, see, this kid here is focused on something that is going to hopefully pay off in the future, their knowledge, right? So they are increasing, they're taking steps to increase their value. The individuals here on this card are literally drawing attention to their perceived weaknesses. Kind of a woe is me kind of mentality. I'm not saying that's you. I remember, I'll tell you a quick little story. I had a roommate in Hawaii, wonderful gentleman. I'm not going to say his name, but they called him the mayor of Wahua. He was well off. He would buy um, properties and then he would renovate them, and he'd buy the like rundown properties in the lesser places around Oahu, and he would kind of rejuvenate the area. And we were on the H3 one day going to his office, and there was these projects, if you will, or subsidized housing, and they were being remodeled, making them look better, the outside and maybe the inside too, on these projects. And he said, you know what, it'll just go right back to how it looked before. He said, you can take um, I can't remember exactly how he said it. He said that poverty is a mindset. You can take someone out of that position, you can give them something else, but that it's inside them. It'll just go right back to the way it looked before. Isn't it? And that's an interesting concept, because it really talks about our inner world being reflected in our outer world. And that's kind of what we're seeing here, because these people are really attached to, and I'm going into this kind of long-winded here, really attached to and becoming, what's the word? They are becoming their weaknesses. They're focused on it. They're transfixed on it. They can't get past it. Even though there's sanctuary right there, there's help. There's only so much you can do to help someone who cannot get past their weaknesses. So the deal with the Five of Pentacles, at least it's a five, it is a changeable energy. It's telling you to focus on your strengths, not focusing on the lack of what you have, right? And that's basically the message here, that as you grow in your strengths, your resources will become more in balance. Because we live in a society where you have to be productive in order to gain the resources. You have to be doing something, or you have to be, you know beggars can't be choosers, right? I don't know if you watch MK and the choosy beggars and stuff like that, but no. If you're just so I don't want to harp on this any longer. I'm kind of getting long-winded with this, but there is this emphasis here to focus on your strengths, and really this is about knowing your value. These people don't feel like they have any value. Surely they're good at something, so yeah, this is in your past energy, thank goodness. I know I harped on that too long, but I've just the message that wanted to come out here. Two of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. This is just not seeing the opportunities right in front of you. I mean, that's my takeaway here from these two cards. The opportunity, I'm going to tell you this, all the aces, they're always there all the time. It's whether or not you can see them. This is a very limited mindset, this or that, nothing else. No gray, black and white. And whenever, like I said, this is calling on you to focus on your strengths and build up your strengths. This is asking you with a blindfold to use your intuition. Trust your intuition. That these opportunities are always there. It just depends on what you want. We all want different things. And so there's this inability here to see all the opportunity that is right in front of you, Aries. This is I don't know. I don't know. I'm glad this is in your past, and some of you, hopefully, you'll never experience this. So now we have the Page of Cups crossed by the King of Swords here. The pages are all curious. This particular page is open to giving and receiving their emotions, maybe just barely tiptoeing into maybe their heart's desire, just barely getting into that. It's also communication. You might be starting to communicate what your heart's desire is. And the King of Swords, this is a lot of clarity. It's seeing the big picture of things, what it all means. And so I get the feeling with these two combined, because this is head, this is heart, right? Because this is representing all of the cups, signs, the cards. I feel like there has been this head over heart, and that's kind of what we see here. Logic over intuition. And maybe in a way, this is blocking you somehow. Not really giving enough attention to your heart space and what really moves you, what creates your joy. And it could be that maybe you grew up poor. We have that Five of Pentacles. I'm looking at it again. And not really understanding what it takes to make yourself more valuable. It really just comes down to, I think, in terms of, oh my gosh, resources, is your work ethic. Just showing up every day, being there. That's the biggest part, So this is, man. Okay, let's look at the current energy. We have a lot of cards flopping out. There's too many. Too many. This might represent scattered thinking, Aries. I think you came from probably a challenging background, and not understanding your potential is what I see here. Ooh, okay, I like that. I think as you've gotten older, you kind of are understanding more, because we do have co-create with spirit. We have peace. Nine of Cups. Okay. And the Chariot. Now we have Cancer energy. Oh my gosh. If I keep knocking these cards down, I need to put like a little, maybe I can add a little bottom piece so that I will try to hold them so they won't. So I won't keep knocking them over. It's a good idea. I might do that. All right. So we have clarity and victory here. That's good. I like that. Let's see what's crossing these energies. All right. Oh, 10 of Cups. Wow, we have 9 and 10. Knight of Swords. And the King of Cups. There's emotion here for sure. That Scorpio energy. We have Gemini. So we have the Ace of Swords and the 10 of Cups. I think, okay, so what I'm feeling here, if you grew up in a place of lack, or just not feeling like you had enough, and didn't feel like maybe the world, you just felt like some kind of imbalance, inequality, right? Why do other people have this and maybe that, you know? And when in your younger days, maybe not being able to see the opportunity right in front of your face, realizing that it's you, possibly. We do have clarity here, and we have clarity with that King of Swords. Now, if that King of Swords isn't you, it could have been that someone came across your path when you were younger, because this is a mature energy and that Page of Cups could represent you. And maybe they shared their knowledge and wisdom with you, almost like a rich dad, poor dad kind of thing, is what I'm getting. You know, but this is like being able to see what what will make you happy, what makes you happy. The Ten of Cups is triumph after difficulty. So it could be that this opportunity here, because all the aces are opportunities, you finally started to see it, you know. And once you really like embodied that energy, that you have the same opportunities as anybody else, I think that was a, like an aha moment, about true happiness. That's what I'm getting here. But I'm seeing you having a happy family right now. The Nine of Cups is a really good energy. It's kind of wish fulfillment, but I feel like it's it's through your own efforts. It's knowing what you want and going after it. We have the Knight of Swords. It is a little fast, it's quick. That's fine. It's knowing what you want and pretty much going after it with a lot of tenacity is what I'm seeing with this Knight of Swords. But you're also, I think, because of your past, I think you know how valuable your emotions are. And I don't see you just giving it to anyone. I'm not seeing that kind of energy here. You're the bartender here in a way. So you get to choose where you spend or who you give your emotions to, because it's a valuable resource, you know. And so I see a lot of there's a lot of self-control here, a lot of happiness. And I feel like you're very driven. I think because you came from a place of lack at some point, whether or not you grew up that way or not, I think that has given you a lot of focus, a lot of determination to. You have two cards of victory here. You've got the Ace of Swords and the Chariot. So I think as long as you are focused on your happiness here, we have Ten of Cups, Nine of Cups, and the King of Cups, and your emotional fulfillment with whatever you do, you will be successful. It may not be about being the richest person in the world financially, resources. You're rich in happiness. So I think you figured out early on that being happy is was way more important to you. That's your goal. Emotional fulfillment. And maybe not so much, being the next, millionaire or whatever. Which is nice. Be happy in the moment and be happy with who you are and what you have. That's kind of the message I'm getting here. I can bring this camera down just a little bit. There we go. So there's a lot of emotional growth in this reading. Queen of Swords now. There we go. Now we have a divine pair. Not the most emotional, but we have it. Seven of Wands. And Judgment, Scorpio. All right. So I think this whole situation has made you very wise. You have clarity here for sure. We have a lot of cards of clarity. And I feel like you've broken a cycle. I really do. All right, let's see what's crossing the Queen. Two of Swords again. You have clarity here, though. And the Queen of Pentacles. And the Six of Cups. So we've had so many repeating cards in this week's readings. You have the Two of Swords twice, which is interesting combination because once again, the Two of Swords is saying, it's more than just what you can see. It's more than just your logic. It's using your intuition. And this intuition, the reason why this is crossing that one is because I think not only are you very wise now, and you can see she understands opportunity. She has no ceiling over her head, although you kind of might look like she's in a room here, but she knows that she has opportunities, infinite opportunities. But she's also cautiously optimistic about incoming offers, things like that. She'll cut it out instantly. So I don't feel indecision here. I really don't. I feel like there is an intuition that you have gained this through this process. You've gained intuition, is what I'm feeling here. So the two combined is very powerful. We have the Seven of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles, resourceful, but really sticking to what you believe in. The Seven of Wands is a protective energy. It's Leo energy. You're standing your ground. You're you're actually ready. You may not feel like you're ready, but you are, Aries. And so I'm feeling this is a triumphant energy that you are resourceful, you are abundant, you know, and it seems like that abundance and that fertility and growth and resourcefulness comes from you just being firm and grounded in what you believe in. That's what I'm feeling. Now, the Judgment card and the Six of Cups. Now, the Six of Cups, this is nostalgia. It's looking back, it's thinking about the past. And what you think about, you bring about. You might be inadvertently drawing in something that was done and over with this Judgment card. It could be a second chance, but I don't know if it's a good one. I kind of like to think that sometimes when things are over, they're just really over, and just let them be. You can be happy with the memories of it, you know, but just be cautious of that. There could be someone coming back now, because we do have that round and round. If it was, let's think of it this way: if you're at peace and you're happy, you don't need this. you know, you can have fond memories of it, but sometimes we tend to whitewash things over time. We will sometimes focus on just the good stuff and not what made it end in the first place. You know, I'm just saying. So do be careful with this. If this is someone from your past that was in any way toxic, there was a reason why y'all split up or the situation ended, whatever it was. And I would just let it be. That's just my opinion. I don't like the past stuff coming back. It's gone for a reason. It's like Pet Cemetery. You know what I'm saying? You gotta let it go. Kindness. Take respite by a pond and be kind to yourself and others. We have beware. Be careful who you trust at this time. And we do have an element of trust here. If that past person, nope, I'm just saying. We have Cain. Pay attention to your health. Okay. And we have that here too. Dog barking. Advice from a friend. Stay away. Stay away. And crib. Birth or conception of a child or enterprise. And that could be you really stepping into a boss mode here with these queen energies. So, yeah, there's that too, Aries. I think you've come a long way from what I'm seeing in this reading. You're creating your own happiness. You're trusting in your intuition. You're seeing things on a very big scale here. So it looks good to me. All right. Let me know if this resonated with you. Hit that like button, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.